Oh, right. Let's talk about Sundial growers. I'm going to tell you what, do not put Sundial down. Every time we see this heading straight down, I'm going to tell you what, we see it going right back up with some good news. And that's what we're seeing right now with Sundial. So first of all, this monthly chart, it is all over the place. And you know, just a month ago, we were seeing Sundial hitting a high 70, 80 cent mark. Now with, the past almost month and a half now, with the market just being completely trashed, we have seen lows of lows. Now Sundial is trying to walk itself back up. The past 5 days have been really good here. The question is, can we keep this momentum going with this volume? Before I say anything else, obviously I am not expecting much out of December here. I think all of December is going to be a washout here, and I think it's just like we're just waiting to get to January at this point. Now, in saying that, there's a lot of articles right now coming out saying really positive things about Sundial, and Sundial is reacting to this, the stock and investors. So friends, let me go ahead and say this, because I get ate up in the comments a lot of times for, this situation. I am not going to talk about every single deal, thing, aspect of what has happened with Sundial in this year, okay? I have made a ton of videos on Sundial, and I'm just going to talk about what we're looking at right now. So there are past videos that I have made with Sundial. You are more than welcome to go back and look at those when I've talked about all these deals, acquisitions they have gotten themselves into. So I just want to go and say that, because there's always people like, well, you didn't talk about this, you didn't talk about that. I get that, but let's move into what's happening right now with what we're seeing. So the big question that everyone is asking here, and that you're seeing in every single article for the past 2 months with Sundial, is Sundial going to be a good investment going into 2022? And a lot of people are saying yes. And obviously one of the big situations that is going on right now with every cannabis company, and Aurora Cannabis being one of the biggest, obviously, is that every year, every month, we see more and more legalization of cannabis, and that's good for people that are investing in this, whether you use it or not. The point is that you, as an investor, you want to see this be legalized everywhere, because that's going to open up the markets. The bread and butter of selling it is going to be better, obviously. So obviously around January, February of this year, Sundial was kind of doing the same thing as it's doing right now. It was playing around this 40-60 cent mark. And then look at this right here on but honestly, right now we're even higher. And like I said, I'm quite a believer that stocks kind of follow suit. We've seen that a lot in the past. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen again, but obviously going into January of 2021 here, we saw quite the upflow, and then February we had that big hit. We had stock offerings back to back, and then we kind of just fell back into this penny cent range here. Now, obviously, can we get there again? I definitely think we can, and we more than likely will here in 2022. Sundial has done a lot of deals this year. They have bought a lot of companies, merged into companies, and this is a company that is still very much growing and is really getting bigger and bigger every year. Now, one thing that I've always said about Sundial that I really like is the aesthetics of Sundial. I've looked at a lot of other cannabis companies, and by far, Sundial is one of the most cleanest looking, aesthetically pleasing company out there, and they really cater to the female side too. It's obviously for everyone, but they really cater to the aesthetic look and color wise of the female cannabis partaker. Obviously, I'm using a lot of particular words here so I don't get in trouble with YouTube. So friends, looking at volume for Sundial has been amazing. Sundial always has really good volume. I mean, look at this right here. Even that we're seeing kind of not great volume right now compared to what we've had here in the past, but this is still really, really good, staying around this 50 million to 100 million in volume. It's playing around there. So like we've said, this is a very lively stock. This is a very traded stock day in and day out, and people are still here with it. So going into 2022 here are some things that I am excited as an investor with Sundial, and you should be too. All of these new acquisitions, all these companies that they have bought into, we will start to see bigger quarterlies come out here. Now, I will say this, to play devil's advocate here, I don't really see Sundial in 2022 like blowing up. I don't think this is going to turn into like a $20, $10 stock. What I'm more or less expecting is that they go up, get out of this penny cent range, and start to really build up their company even more. They're probably going to start buying into more companies. They've said that. And just really getting themselves pushed in the ground on 2 feet, standing up here, and really try to take over the cannabis market more or less. And you know, they've said that. That's what they're trying to do here. But I believe as we get bigger and better quarterlies coming out here for Sundial, that is really what's going to entice bigger investors, hedge funds, people that have a lot more money that can buy 50, 100,000, 200,000 shares at a time to sit there and just let it ferment into something. So friends, with all that said, really, I wish everyone the best of luck with this. I'm very bullish on this into the future, but remember, be positive, be you, take time to invest in your future, and friends, I will talk to you very soon. Have a great Christmas week. Friends, I'm really excited. Talk to you soon.